This was a really special day. What happened here is we went down at Essex County Airport. Some people call it Caldwell Airport. In the past, we'd gone down there when there's been B-17s flying in. There's also been, warbirds and air shows and everything down there. But I thought along the ride today, I wanted to stop in there just to see what was going on. There used to be a restaurant there called Bomber Command. That isn't there anymore. So it was kind of a nostalgic trip. And then I thought I'd include something that we did a year or two ago. No, maybe it was more than that, maybe a few years ago. What happened, the Ford Tri-Motor flew in there, and because my mom had been one of the people that flew on the original Ford Tri-Motors that used to fly into the airports years and years ago, and she actually got to ride on one, and that was something she always talked about, how cool the Ford Tri-Motor was. So, of course, because I used to fly my air coupe into Essex County, and it was a great place to fly into. Actually, one day I was there, and there was a Corsair being fueled up. So, cool day today. So this is going to be a very strange day because Karen wants to get to work done on the farm first before I do anything on a motorcycle. So I got to get my butt out there. We got to do our harvesting and feed the birds and feed the fish and everything, do all that peripheral stuff. But I do have a bunch of little things to do here before we can get out on the open road. And as it's like every morning, first order of the day, do that parking lot attendant thing. It's really funny, and I know it's Murphy's Law. No matter what bike I put in the front, I always want to ride the one in the back. And whatever happens, if I put them in backwards, it's harder to get them out of the garage. And no matter what, the answer is, so somebody take up a collection and get me a big garage. So the first order of business is a small detail. I have this little extension on the kickstand, which I'm going to take off because pretty much I've got enough miles on this bike now that I'm happy with the lowered forks, and I want to get it to get the exact right lean angle now. And this is something I didn't want to do until I was positive that I wanted to keep the front end the way it is, which I do. So it's one bolt, and I've done that to the 650 I did the other day. And the R1, very nice. We have a fully adjustable kickstand. I've done that on video already. It's on one of the previous videos. And luckily the MT-09 seems to be pretty happy just the way he is so far anyway. We'll find out. Always monitoring the little wear bars on the Michelin 5. Seems like we're doing pretty good so far. That gives me a little chance to look at how this is going to look. I just assume, since the colors of the blues are pretty similar, and the silver wheels on the R1, and we're tentatively going to make the wheels silver on the MT-09 over the winter. Now, because we don't have any rear axle spools on this, to get the kickstand that I can work on it, and yeah, it's up off the ground. It's very nice that I have the Harbor Freight lift, which I use in this case. Once I'm done with that, I may as well clean the front wheel, as long as I have it up off the ground. But there's a bolt on there. Once I take the bolt out, that'll just thread right out, and I'll save that if I ever want to put this back to the normal setting. Now, I'm really happy that I made all these things easy to take on and off. It works to my advantage right now. And it's just a 1/4 inch aluminum, and I had it bolted on. Now I have hopefully the bike will lean more in keeping with what I want. And I'm real fussy about that too, because when I stop to take pictures, a lot of times the road is angled in or out, and I have to really check that the bike isn't in some teeter-tottery position. Just such a handy tool, having this electric wrench. I even have the manual one, but of course the electric one's so much better. Now, one more small detail done here. We could put him back in the pitching rotation and know that he's not going to have an issue. See, I didn't want to make any of these things before I knew, because what I might have wanted to do is go halfway, and it leaned enough. But I know it wasn't right the last time I rode the bike. It's right now. As I'm doing all these little details on the bike, I may as well move them all around and make it more convenient for the next week. So there's 3 of my 4 Yamahas. Oh. Why, I'm trying to arrange with Luciano to ride. He's got an old FZ. I'd like to ride the old FZ and the even older FZR. Be a good pair. There's something about these old Yamahas, it's hard to explain to people. And whenever I have the bikes out of their little parking niches, I always try to clean them up, get the dust and spider webs. So as long as I'm cleaning up this bike, and I'm hoping by the weekend we can get one of our joint rides with the old Yamahas going, but you never know. That could change in a heartbeat. Now we'll just have to play this weekend out and see how it plays out, because I don't like to ride with Luciano if we have two totally different bikes. I'd rather we both have two strokes or both have something that just makes the ride more fun. Okay, we're back. Back in the USSR. The plan today is to save the FZR to live to fight another day. And I really would like to set up one of the days with Luciano. He has the old FZ, two old Yamahas. That's kind of cool. So, because he's not going to be able to make it today even, the plan is I'm just going to go out on the R1, finish up all the work on the farm here, ready to go. So what is nice is by having a bike that's basically the same color and I have some of this paint left over, I think. If I don't, I can always buy some. What'll be happening is I can get a little preview of what this would look like, what the MT-09 would look like with the silver wheels, and that certainly is something. When John did all the sketches and I saw how it would look with gold wheels, I wasn't happy with that, and Karen was really unhappy with it. She said, no. So anyway, we're trying to get our stuff ready for the season when we do that kind of work here in the shop. It's coming. And it comes fast. All of a sudden one day it's just snow on the ground or something. But today I hope we get to ride. But things change here on an hourly basis. Now we're finally ready to get out on the open road. So this is one of the kohlrabis we're going to harvest tonight. That's going to be part of our supper tonight. And it looks like a Sputnik. It's an Eastern European vegetable. It's very, very delicious. I like to eat them raw, in fact. Kohlrabis. A nice little harvest this morning before we go out. Look at that. That's some nice kohlrabi though. And Karen is working on her next tablescape for her next dinner party. Oh, she's so happy. I'm happy. What am I talking about? Time to ride. Final weather check is KVU. For anybody that's not familiar with that term, it's clear and visibility unlimited. And I hear the landscapers are already out. Probably we're at pretty much coming up on the end of the landscaping season here. Means more time for riding. Just about as good as it gets. Perfect weather. And boy, it's always fun to have a day out on the R1, no matter where you go. On the farmland today, they're giving tractor rides. Look at the house here. I know Karen's getting ready for the fall season. We're getting ready for the changing of the leaves, the pumpkins, the corn. Looks like the kids are out here having fun. Maybe we'll take Miles for a hayride this year. Maybe let him drive the tractor and do wheelies.
That's what's nice about riding in a low traffic area. You have nobody even in your field of vision. And here's what's even better. No traffic at all today. I don't know what's... What a just spectacular, beautiful day this turned out to be. I can't believe it. Unbelievable day. Just about the right temperature for wearing full weather. And the sound of the Crossplane always echoes in the trees. Guess that's a good way to put it.
So we stopped off at Essex County Airport, and this is where we always go to see the warbirds and whatever. There were no warbirds there today. There was no Ford Tri-Motor, so well, we had a great time. And there were several little places here that are very interesting to view.
This is a very cool place, and there's always something cool going on here.
And the two best days I remember, I had the air coupe down and flew in here, and as I was pulling up to the pump to fuel up, there was an F4U Corsair sitting there being fueled up. I thought that, I wish I would have had a video camera back then. What a great shot that would have been.
One of our stop-offs on this trip today, Essex County Airport, Dallas. This is a great little place. I used to fly the air coupe out of here all the time. There always seems to be some cool stuff going on here. In fact, a couple of years ago, we had the Ford Tri-Motor fly in and B-17s and whatnot. Always a cool little airport.
Now I'm going to insert here a little bit of a little short video outtake from the day that we were down here, and I don't remember, it was 2 or 3 years ago, and the Ford Tri-Motor flew in and they were giving rides, and it was quite an interesting... That whole video, by the way, is still out on my channel. This is a little outtake.
Pretty cool. This is the first all-metal airplane. My mother rode in these out in Long Island. Oh my God. And maybe some people don't know, my father was a Navy pilot and owned his own plane, owned several in fact. And we have a real interest in old aviation, hey, old motorcycles, old houses, and old cars. What a beautiful day and a beautiful airport. Great place to stop for a break. It reminds me, I'm sure Dallas has the same memories when the memories of pre-flight in planes instead of pre-flight in motorcycles. basically for the same reason though.
Now it's the power band and the sound from the cockpit of riding this bike that make it so unique. I have an FZR, that's an ordinary inline 4. The Crossplane makes just so much more torque and widespread on the whole power band.
Boy, it's so nice and calm this morning. There's not a ripple on the lake. Holy mackerel. What a beautiful day this turned out to be. You can't imagine. You can hear the crickets off in the background. Just a spectacular day. Beautiful, very low traffic today, even on the back roads, almost no traffic at all. Makes for a really nice, relaxing ride.
And the sound of the Crossplane, boy, no matter what, that adds such a nice touch to the ride. And this is the first day it's been cool enough to really enjoy wearing the full leather gear. First day this year. And after a full 12 years and a lot of modifications, a lot of changes to suit my personal ergonomics and riding style, after all that time, the R1, an original owner, has become just a really, really good friend. And after about 3.5 hours and a full tank of gas, almost emptied the tank out today, it's time to get back to the ranch and see what Karen still needs me to do. I'm always in full service mode as a farmer, an official professional farmer of Rutherford. Always something to do. Always good to be home safe and sound and know that Karen will have a cup of coffee on or some soup or something for lunch. Always good to be back on the farm. What a nice ride today.
Well, fall is really here. It was nice and chilly this morning. Actually, the temperature's pretty good right now. Pretty good. They're starting to give hay rides on the out at the farm area, and I always love stopping by Caldwell Airport. It's actually Caldwell, Essex County Airport. And the day we went down and saw the tri-motor there, boy, that brought back a lot of memories. Anyway, hope you did enjoy the video, and thanks so much for watching.
So, hope you did enjoy the video. We try to use our channel to share the rides we go on, and maybe from the rider's perspective, so you can see what it's actually like to ride some of these old and classic bikes, and the new ones like the MT-09. We try to basically over the winter do our maintenance and painting and make some custom wheels, make some custom parts. We do most of our riding in New Jersey and New York, and we try to ride all the bikes in some kind of pitching rotation. So if you did enjoy the video, hey, I hope you'll tune in tomorrow too. And thanks so much for watching.